Long before the age of Lord Ram and Ravan, the earth witnessed the rise and fall of extraordinary civilizations. These were not mere mortal empires, but realms ruled by beings of immense power and wisdom, the Daitya and Danava. Who were these ancient beings, and what became of them? But before we delve into their disappearance, we need to understand who these beings were and why their story matters to us today. The answer takes us back to a time so ancient that mainstream history doesn't even acknowledge its existence. According to the Puran, particularly the Vishnu Purana and the Shiva Purana, both the Daitya and Danava trace their lineage to Kashyap, one of the great sages of Hindu tradition. But here's where it gets interesting. Their mothers were different. The Daitya were born to Diti, while the Danava were born to Danu, both daughters of Daksh Prajapati. Now these weren't just ordinary beings. The text described them as Asur, often translated as demons, but that's a gross oversimplification. The word Asur originally meant mighty or powerful in the earliest Vedic texts. In fact, even some of the Dev or gods were called Asur in the early Vedic period. The Puran described the civilizations of the Daitya and Danava in astounding detail. The Matsya Puran speaks of their capital city, Hiranyapur, literally the golden city, which could move through all three worlds, the sky, the earth, and the underworld. Modern scholars have drawn parallels between these descriptions and the concept of flying vehicles detailed in ancient texts. But what's truly remarkable is the level of scientific advancement attributed to these civilizations. The Surya Siddhanta, one of the oldest known astronomical texts, is said to have been revealed by Danava, a great architect and astronomer of the Danava race. This text contains detailed calculations about planetary positions, eclipses, and mathematical constants that show remarkable accuracy even by modern standards. The Daitya and Danava weren't just scientifically advanced, they were master architects and engineers. The texts speak of their underwater cities protected by mysterious force fields, flying fortresses that could become invisible, and weapons that sound eerily similar to modern nuclear and electromagnetic technology. But if these civilizations were so advanced, what led to their downfall? The answer lies in a complex web of conflicts that spanned several cosmic ages. The Purans speak of multiple wars between the Dev and Asur. But here's what's fascinating. These weren't simple good versus evil conflicts, as later interpretations would have us believe. The Mahabharata contains passages where Asur are praised for their knowledge of Dharma, cosmic law, and their dedication to truth. The Bhagavad Puran tells us of King Bali, a Daitya ruler who was known for his righteousness and generosity. Even when Vaman, an avatar of Vishnu, came to take away his kingdom, Bali chose to honor his word and give up everything rather than break his promise. This suggests that the conflict was more about cosmic balance and power dynamics than moral superiority. Now you might be thinking this is all mythology, right? But here's where things get really interesting. Across India there are underwater structures off the coast of Gujarat, mysterious radioactive skeletal remains in Mohenjo-daro, and architectural marvels that we still can't fully explain with known ancient technology. So what actually happened to these advanced civilizations? The texts provide several intriguing possibilities. First, the Skand Puran speaks of a great war involving celestial weapons that could destroy entire cities. The descriptions are eerily similar to modern nuclear weapons, including effects like intense light, radiation-like symptoms, and long-term environmental damage. Second, some texts suggest that many Daitya and Danava didn't actually disappear but rather went into hiding in parallel dimensions or underground cities. The Shiva Purana mentions places called Patal and Atal, often interpreted as underground realms, but which might actually represent different dimensional planes. But perhaps the most important question isn't what happened to them, but what their story means for us today. The texts describe these civilizations as becoming victims of their own advancement, their power and knowledge, ultimately leading to conflicts that caused their downfall. The parallels to our own civilization are hard to ignore. Like the Daitya and Danava, we've developed incredible technology and weapons of mass destruction. We're pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge. But are we also pushing ourselves toward a similar fate? While we may never know the full truth about the Daitya and Danava, Their story serves as both a warning and an inspiration, a warning about the responsible use of power and knowledge, and an inspiration to keep exploring our ancient past. As we wrap up this exploration, we are left with more questions than answers. But perhaps that's the point. The story of the Daitya and Danava reminds us that human civilization might be far older and more complex than we currently believe. If you've enjoyed this journey into ancient mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think happened to these ancient civilizations? Let me know in the comments section.